Hello and welcome to our final video for the virtual course where we're going to talk about levels of organization. And after this video, we will get into our Google Classroom, Google Earth snowy locations project. So we have levels of organization. This is what I've been talking about for the past two videos where we are going to start off small and get larger and larger as we learn today. So let's just dive right into it. First, we need to discuss vocab. There are two key terms here that we have to talk about, biotic and abiotic. What the heck do these two things mean? Well, biotic means anything that's living. If it's living, it's biotic. So abiotic has to mean anything that's not alive. Okay, let's review organelles a little bit here. Organelles make up a cell. As we talked about before, eukaryotes have organelles in them, and prokaryotes do not. Eukaryotes are much more complex, and every one of us, we are all eukaryotic. They're also called little organs because they're little organs inside a cell, just like how we have organs in us that all do special things. Each cell has a little a eukaryote at least. Each eukaryote has a little organ in it that does a specific role. So now we have the cell itself. So we're getting a little bit bigger. Organelles make up a cell, and now we have a cell made up of organelles. And is, again, the smallest living unit that can carry out life processes. Again, here are all these organelles inside this cell here. And it is living. These organelles are not living. They are not alive. But a cell is, definitely. Okay, so cell. There can be unicellular organisms, which is an organism that is only made up of one cell. An example, fungi. They're unicellular. Most bacteria also are. So cell specialization. I mentioned this in the last one a little bit, where it tells cells what they will become. Stem cells is what all cells start as. Everything starts as a stem cell. We've all heard of stem cell research and the controversy behind that, because it could be anything. If someone loses one of their kidneys, we could theoretically tell a stem cell, you're a kidney cell now, and then we could grow a kidney. But the way we get stem cells is a very controversial topic that not a lot of people like to discuss. So that's all I'm going to say there. But they can become any type of cell. They're a blank slate. And before they're specialized, that's what they do. So a number of factors influence what a cell becomes. So we're quite frankly unsure of all the factors, which is why we still need the stem cell research. But again, it comes at a price. Once a cell changes, there is no going back. That's it. If it turns into a bone cell, it's a bone cell forever. It can't go back and forth. Change different types of cells. Multicellular organisms are large and complex, and they need more complex systems to maintain homeostasis, which is why we have cell specialization. We can't just have random cells going wherever they want. We need a skeleton in us, for example, so we need those bone cells to be where they're supposed to be. And homeostasis, as stated in one of our past videos, means a natural balance, an equilibrium that we're trying to find, something to maintain a constant happy state in our bodies. Cell specialization allows this to happen. So now we have tissue. Well, if a cell is a group of organelles, then a tissue must be a group of cells working together. So similar cells working together. So a whole bunch of red blood cells working together, a whole bunch of bone cells working together, a whole bunch of cartilage cells working together. They all make cartilage tissue, blood tissue, bone tissue, muscle tissue, all that. Now we have organs. And no, not that kind of organ. But with organs, they are, here's an example, a stomach and a heart. But they are tissues that work together. So again, as you might be seeing a pattern here, organelles are a bunch of organelles make a cell, a bunch of cells make a tissue, or yeah, and then a bunch of yeah, sorry. So and then a bunch of tissues make an organ. So a bunch of tissues that work together make an organ. A whole bunch of stomach tissues or a bunch of muscle tissues, they're going to make this, these organs here. Now, if we have a bunch of organs working together, we are going to get an organ system. So what kind of systems would these be? Well, we have a nervous system, maybe, but then we definitely have a circulatory system and a real nervous system. So this one here would be, well, with mouth, throat, stomach, intestines. That's obviously digestive system. Now the organism. So a bunch of organs make an organ system. A bunch of organ systems are going to come together. A skeleton, muscle system, so skeleton system, muscular system, circulatory system, nervous system. They're all going to come together to make a living thing, an organism. So organisms are usually made up of several organ systems. Even things as small as ants, they have a nervous system and a circulatory system at the very least, along with usually, then there's the respiratory system in there. So yeah, even insects have various organ systems inside of them. And it may even be in a single cell, like right here. These have through mitochondria, they have respiration. So they can, so they do have kind of like organ systems, but they are classified as organisms because they are an entire living thing. Now, a bunch of organisms together make a population, but they have to be the same type of organism. So I can't have, like in my house right now, there are 2 cats, 4 fish, a dog, and 4 humans. So I can't have a population of all of those creatures. I could have a population of 4 humans because there are 4 of us, but I could not add the cats in there because they are not the same type of organism. But when we get into a community, that's where we can take several populations living together. So then I can say, there's a community in my house of 4 fish, 2 cats, 4 humans, and a dog. And that would give us a community of 11 individuals. So these populations interact with each other. So we have a duck in a pond. These, there would be other ducks in there with fish underneath, and who knows what other kind of bacteria might be in that pond, all interacting within each other. Then we have an ecosystem, where it's a biotic community plus the abiotic features. So, what are some of the abiotic and biotic features below? The biotic ones are easy because that's what you see immediately. Ducks in the pond. The tree on the left, there's a palm tree there. All the grass down at the bottom. The trees in the background, the tree on the right. All these living things, they're guaranteed to be fish in that river, right? And bacteria of some kind. But what about the abiotic factors? That usually stumps people because they're harder to see, or you're just trained not to really think about them, like dirt or water or these clouds or the air in that, is literally covering this whole picture that, it's there. When whoever took this picture took it, there was air filling this whole picture. The temperature, the humidity, all of those are abiotic factors. If this took place somewhere where the temperature changed drastically, these birds would be only seasonal. So all because of that abiotic factor. So with a group of ecosystems, we're going to get a biome. So they are similar ecosystems on Earth together. Many ecosystems combine to make a biome. And some of the examples of biomes that we'll be talking about in future lessons are like deserts and deciduous forests and rainforests, oceans, ponds and rivers. All those are different biomes on the Earth. And for your project, which was part of my TIP proposal, you're going to look at snowy biomes. And there are only two possible snowy biomes. It's either going to be a taiga or a tundra. But that you're going to have to learn on your own when you do the project. That is it for our video lessons. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to let me know. Thank you and have a great day.